The Donald Trump Elon Musk crash out is here. Civil war. Is this the most high profile divorce since Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie? Or is it all political theater? Welcome back to Words Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Isle. And yes, I love the chaos. I love the chaos. I am a chaos goblin as an open, honest, and happy anarchist at best, libertarian at worst. It has been a very fun 24 hours for me. So we're going to break down what went down in the last, let's say day or so between Elon and Donald Trump, as well as get the reactions of some other people in the media, and then just like regular folk within the YouTube sphere. Before we do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. And if for some way you missed it, a few days ago, Elon decided to pretty much be open about the fact that he was against the big beautiful bill. Yes, it's a bad bill. It's beautiful. It's big spending. It's tax cuts. Except for it 100%. It's not a good bill. Let's be real. It's not really a good bill. And Elon, who is for many years now, by the way, well before working with Trump, stated that he wants to reduce the deficit. Wasn't very happy about it. And then he had this to say yesterday. Whatever. Keep the EV solar incentive cuts to the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. But ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. In the entire history of civilization, there has never been legislation that has been both big and beautiful. Everyone knows this. He is 100% right, by the way. 100% right here. You cannot be big and you cannot be beautiful. The BBWs don't exist. Bills and laws are like fat women. You can't be big and beautiful. Either you get a big and ugly bill or a slim and beautiful bill. Slim and beautiful is the way. And then we got Asmongold coming in with, like, the best take on all of this. Ain't nobody want a fat, retarded bill. Homie ain't wrong. No, again, bills are like children. Ain't nobody want a fat, retarded kid. Asmongold's right. Nobody wants a fat, retarded bill. Donald Trump then took to Truth Social to say, Elon, he's running thin. Asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate. Forced everyone to buy electric cars. Nobody else wanted that. He knew for months I was going to do it. He just went crazy. Needless to say, Trump started to throw some bombs back at Elon, despite the fact that whether you love or hate Elon doesn't really matter. In this instance, I would say that he is correct. Yeah, Elon didn't take too kindly to this. In fact, he emulated Trump in Trump's very notifiable way of posting on X, at least the way he used to do it, with a tweet that simply just said, such an obvious lie, so sad. But the great part about this was that Donald Trump was fact-checked and community noted into oblivion. And say what you will about the community notes, they've called Elon Musk out plenty of times, but this time they came to his defense with Donald Trump saying that he's wearing thin about the electric car thing. Elon Musk has always been in favor of ending EV tax credits, and then they got a whole big, beautiful list of multiple times where Elon has called for an end to the EV credit. So, needless to say, Trump not looking good in this one. Like if this was the most recent WrestleMania, it would pretty much just be the whole WrestleMania, because it was actually one of the weakest events in WWE. But that's neither here nor there. The fact is, Elon clearly so far come out on top. But then he dropped the bomb. Then Elon drops the big bomb. He goes full Hiroshima and Nagasaki on Trump with this right here. Time to drop the really big bomb. At Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Oh, shit, is Elon out here calling his former bestie a pedophile? No, actually, no. I don't think so at all. If we're going to be 100% honest here, this particular tweet, I think, is expertly crafted. I think this is some next level shit, because it's Trump in the Epstein files, 100%. Absolutely. Everyone knew this, by the way. Like, going back to even prior to Epstein killing himself, except for he didn't kill himself. No. Yeah, he didn't kill himself. Everyone knew that Trump was on the list. Why? Because they've been seen hanging out together multiple times. There's videos of it. There's photos of it. He flew on his plane. And now here's the dealio. Elon didn't say Trump was guilty of anything. Elon didn't say Trump be fucking kids. All he said was that Trump was on the Epstein list. He didn't actually say anything. Again, anyone that uses just a semblance of critical thinking knows that Trump is on the Epstein list. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of names on the Epstein list. That doesn't mean all hundreds or thousands of these people are guilty. just that they're on the list and having been associated with Epstein in some way, shape, or form. I mean, the dude was a multi-billionaire socialite who donated, like, tens of millions of dollars to various sciences. You're going to have scientists and college professors and whatnot on the Epstein list because he went to all their fancy fundraisers and parties and stuff like that. So, no, this was actually a brilliant ploy by Elon just to say some shit that is objectively correct, get people to not use critical thinking skills because it is the internet, and just have everybody assume the worst and it go crazy. The question becomes, is this political theater? Is this kayfabe? Is this Elon and Donald Trump playing 4D chess? Or is Elon just saying some ridiculous shit because he is a known troll? I'll give my thoughts on that a little bit later. Then we got Donald Trump, not particularly happy with the idea of being even alluded to being a pedophile. After all, that was Sleepy Joe, so he's calling for, calling for action against Elon. He says, the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. I was surprised Biden didn't do it. Oh, man, you were so surprised Biden didn't do it. First of all, Biden's the one that gave Elon Musk the contracts. Everyone wanted to throw a fit about Elon getting rich off of Donald Trump. Look at all those Tesla contracts. And then you look into it and you realize that Joe Biden was the one that gave Elon Musk's company those contracts. What do you mean you were wondering why Joe Biden wasn't the one that canceled them? But that's neither here nor there. So Elon, of course, got a response to that. Because Elon got a response to goddamn everything. Like, this is... Bro, it doesn't matter how excited I am for the upcoming Superman film as a big Superman fan. Ain't no way James Gunn's Superman gonna be as entertaining as this. Jurassic World? Nah, get the fuck out of here. Fantastic Four? Dude, it's got Pedro Pascal in it. I would honestly have more fun reading, like, J.K. Rowling hate tweets than seeing that movie. But no, Elon Musk comes back. We're at the climax here, and he says, in light of President's statements about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. Ooh, goddamn, Superman, it's just going tit for tat. But again, is this political theater? No, but here's one of the reasons I think it is. And if it's not political theater, if this all is real, if it is not fabricated, well, J.D. Vance kind of got the best sense of humor at all, because take a look at what J.D. Vance posted last night. Slow news day. What are we even going to talk about? And, of course, he's posting about going on the podcast with Theo Vaughn. Bro, that's funny. Like, I don't give a shit who you are, who you voted for. J.D. Vance just posting this casually and then going to do a podcast with Theo Vaughn. That is funny as fuck. One of the things that isn't funny, though, is Steve Bannon. A notorious hardcore conservative Steve Bannon, who had easily the worst take of all of this. In fact, let's just go through it, shall we? So this right here, this is from an interview show that Steve Bannon was on, and he wants to call himself conservative. And let me ask y'all, what is a core tenet of being conservative? Right, conserving government power. What Stevie Boy is asking for right here don't sound too conservative to me. Take a listen.
Know anything. He's a know-it-all. He knows some engineering. Don't get me wrong. I give a hat tip for that, but he doesn't know anything about the real world.
Here he's talking about Elon Musk. He knows some engineering. Doesn't know anything about the real world. But it's what's coming about. This is the scary part.
Doge was, and for any fanboys that still exist, while you're wrapping up in your cape tonight, understand on Doge, he didn't find any fraud. There's plenty of fraud out there. He didn't find. This is President Trump's first complaint.
I would actually very much disagree with this. Fraud was found. Not fraud in the legal sense, mind you. However, how many Americans knew that millions of dollars were going to fund transgender surgeries in bumfuck Egypt? Or how many knew that we were doing all the myriad of insane social, political things, regime changes? USAID was funding ridiculous shit in all these foreign countries that had nothing to do with actually giving them aid. It was just a bunch of social political bogus, and Americans had no idea in large that their tax dollars were going to that. So yes, if Americans were being effectively defrauded, the taxes that they're paying into that are supposed to go to, getting their school systems working properly, paying for veterans affairs, making sure that hungry people get their food stamps, things to that effect. Yes, it's absolutely fraudulent to effectively lie and obfuscate to the American people where their money is going, what it's doing. I can't tell y'all how much money I've been paying into taxes since I started working my first job at 16. And once I find out that there's now there's LGBT comic books being funded in Democratic Republic of the Congo or what the fuck ever, needless to say, I'm a little upsetty spaghetti about that. Your boy already thinks taxes, are a sin, that taxation is theft. There shouldn't be taxes to begin with. But if we are going to pay taxes, is it too much to ask that maybe instead of going to the Democratic Republic of the Congo to fund transgender comic books, instead maybe it go to our fucking veterans returning from after getting their legs blown off in an illegal war in Iraq? I'm just saying, but that's not the worst of what Stevie Boy says.
Was this all BS, right? With the with the Doge, the act that President Trump should be taking immediately, I think, when he threatens to take one of the big programs out of SpaceX, President Trump tonight should sign an executive order calling for the Defense Production Act to be called in SpaceX and seize SpaceX tonight before midnight.
Homie wants to seize SpaceX. Well, I guess by the time you're seeing this, yesterday before midnight, I thought conservatives were the party of, less government control, less government interference. Hey, we're constitutionalists. We want the government involved in your lives minimally. Yet you're calling for the American government to seize a private company? Again, that don't sound very conservative to me, Mr. Bannon. Or maybe you're just another acolyte of Trump, another acolyte of identity politics, as if anybody had anything else, had any other belief about him. So take a look at this post right here. Take a look at this post by the Democrats. Oh, I know, the big scary Democrats. Well, guess what? When you're right, you're right. If Hitler were to say, hey, water keeps you hydrated, I mean, shit, it might be coming from Hitler, but a correct statement's a correct statement. So when the Democrats post, kill the bill and release the Epstein files, you're good goddamn right I'm gonna agree with that statement. I don't care if it's coming from the left, I don't care if it's coming from the right. If the bill's a bad bill, and we all good goddamn know that the Epstein files should be released. The reason they're not released, because people on both the left and the right are on it, and it's gonna bring the entire system down when all those names are announced. But hey, there's gonna be a million people that disagree with this statement on the surface simply because it came from an account titled The Democrats, showing that you don't care about truth, you don't care about justice, you don't care about the American way, you care about your identity, partisan politics, because you don't have the critical thinking skills, you don't care about the goodness of the country, you care about which team, as if it's the goddamn Super Bowl. And then you got Kanye in here. Sorry, I don't dead name. Ye. You got Ye coming in, and let me tell you, he spoke some sense. Bros, please, no, we love you both so much. How out of touch you gotta be if Kanye Hitler West is being the voice of reason? Dude just dropped the biggest banger of 2025. How Hitler. How Hitler. Like that's the dude that right now is making more sense than Elon, than Trump. We talking about homie that made his wife go to the Met Gala effectively in the nude or whatever. That's the dude everyone's looking to, you know what, yeah, you makes sense. Bro, we are so cooked. Then we got just the regular everyday folk. How are they responding to this? House of Flux, you love her. Flux, if you see this, I'm still waiting for you to come on TFH. Mrs. Flux takes, oh, by the way, happy Pride Month. Fucking lesbian ass Flux, I'm gonna fuck about Pride Month. She's one of the good ones. However, this is her wife's take. No, that bill is trash from what I've seen. Here's my take on everything. Trump is fake backing this bill, and he told Elon to oppose it, because Doge, obviously. Now the Democrats go against anything Trump does, so by Elon turning on him, Tesla is now safe, and he's back in the Democrats' good graces. The bill allows them to have this spat and it be believable. Elon, being back in the good graces and saying Trump is on the Epstein list, will make the Democrats want the list/files released because they have TDS and they're willing to watch anyone burn as long as Trump goes down too. Except, I think Trump is on the files, but not the way the Democrats think. And it's all just a ploy to get the Democrats to implode on themselves. That's my wife. Now, I've seen a myriad of people that hold this exact same opinion. Myself included, to an extent. Now, I mean, Occam's razor obviously is a thing. What's more likely? Two rich dudes, too big for their britches, that are now having challenging themselves to dick measuring competitions, egos getting the best of them. One wants to be in control, the other one wants to be in control, and then you got JD Vance in this corner just like, Like, who's to say what's going on in that regard? Occam's razor would say, nah, this is a true blue crash out on both sides, or I guess true red crash out because we're talking about Republicans here. But when are things ever that simple in politics? I mean, we all know already that the left and the right aren't actually against each other. They all go to the same parties. They all do the same insider trading. They all go in, having not being millionaires and coming out absolute millionaires. We know good goddamn well that they don't actually hate one another, and that the constant warring for the media is all done as a dog and pony show to keep us in the dark. So if we know that that's the case, if we know that there's a reason the term political theater exists, is it actually too much of a stretch to think that this could also just be more of that political theater? That this really could be some sort of elaborate plan conducted and concocted by Trump and Musk to, again, get everything we want. Again, Trump is back in the good graces of the media, finds a way to get the Epstein files released, finds a way for Tesla stock to go back up. I mean, there's a now, again, it sounds too good to be true, and anytime something is too good to be true, it probably is, but it's a compelling theory that I think does actually hold some water, and since we know how fake the world of politics is, I don't think it's a stretch to think that this would also be any different. But there's one more key factor here, and this is the biggest kicker of them all. This is where it's going to get a little bit dry, but arguably this is the most important part. I've been seeing all over X, for those that are curious about what's going on in the back end, something called palantir. The palantir controversy. Oh, a lot of people saying the palantir stuff is now swept under the rug thanks to Trump and Musk's public spat. What the hell is the palantir controversy? Get your tinfoil hats on, because this is going to sound crazy, but we have seen this before. Anytime some big catastrophic crash out happens in politics, you look into it and there's usually some shit in the back end that is actually far more nefarious. Well, this is why I asked Grok. Explain the palantir controversy from the most recent news that people are saying is being overshadowed by the Trump and Elon drama. Now, this is what Grok had to say about it. The most recent palantir controversy centers on its reported role in building a massive federal database of Americans' personal information under the Trump administration, raising significant privacy and surveillance concerns. Well, that doesn't sound good. That kind of sounds like the Patriot Act 2.0. I wonder what Edward Snowden got to say about this. At this point, I'm wondering if Trump is ever going to pardon that motherfucker, though he does deserve it. The issue has been somewhat overshadowed by the high-profile public feud between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, particularly over Trump's big, beautiful bill and Musk's criticisms of government spending. As he should be criticizing, as we should all be criticizing, he details the palantir controversy. Massive data collection. According to May 30th, 2025, New York Times report, the Trump administration has tapped palantir technologies to compile a master database by aggregating sensitive data from federal agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security, Internal Revenue Service, Social Security Administration, and Department of Education. Whoa. I thought these were all the three-letter organizations that we're supposed to be getting rid of. I mean, how are you going to collect all the data from the DHS, SSA, Department of Education, if they're supposed to be gone? Isn't this what the people voted for? Getting rid of these three-letter organizations? And yet now, not only are they here, but all their information is going to be pooled together for one massive conglomeration of information sharing for the entire American populace, and probably people that aren't American as well. Now, that being said, this is all information that the government already has. If you think they don't have all this on you, you're out your goddamn mind. But bureaucracy a funny and tricky thing. So even though they have all this info sharing, it's not that easy. The left hand never knows what the right one is doing, because let's be real, efficiency is the kryptonite of the government, hence the entire reason for Doge in theory. So if you can go ahead and circumvent that and get all this information together in one place so that the right and the left hand don't have to talk to each other, instead that little tiny government PP can just little flick itself on the table and all the information is there, bingo, bango, bongo, now you got yourself a dystopian surveillance state. The database would include personal details like tax records, immigration status, bank accounts, student loans, disability claims, potentially creating unprecedented surveillance capabilities. That all sounds kind of fucking terrifying and vaguely communist China-like. Executive order and Doge involvement. The initiative stems from a March 2025 executive order by Trump to enhance interagency data sharing with Palantir's Foundry platform as a key tool. The Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, previously led by Elon Musk, has reportedly influenced Palantir's selection of a primary vendor, contracts, and financial surge. Since Trump took office, Palantir has secured over $113 million in federal contracts, including a $795 million Pentagon deal for its Maven smart system, a $30 million contract with ICE in April 2025, further expanded its role in tracking migrants, and the contracts have fueled a 140% surge in Palantir stock since Trump's re-election, making it a focal point for investors. Now I wonder if Nancy Pelosi had invested in Palantir stock. I wonder how many individuals in the government on both sides of the political aisle invested in Palantir stock. How much richer did the rich just get? Remember, guys, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Privacy and misuse concerns. Privacy advocates, including some Republican lawmakers like Representative Thomas Massie, one of the GOATs, and Warren Davidson, warned that the database could be abused to target immigrants, political opponents, or other groups, likening it to a dystopian surveillance state. Bingo, bango, bongo, ya boy said it first. Even some Trump supporters like Nick Fuentes have expressed alarm. Again, we got not only Kanye West, but Nick motherfucking Fuentes, chief of the Hitler Youth, effectively saying, "Yo, Trump, what you doing, homeboy? This seems scary and bad." Yeah, no shit. Maybe the leader of the Hitler Youth doesn't want to be on a government database controlled by people that likely don't like the fact that he is the leader of the goddamn Hitler Youth. With Fuentes claiming the database could track critics of Israel or other groups. Palantir's defensive stance. Palantir has denied allegations of unlawful surveillance. Well, because what big business comes out and says, you got me, we're doing illegal shit, you know? Just imagine if in Resident Evil, Umbrella came out and they're like, alright, you got us, we're making zombies and bioweapons, like, no big fucking deal, right, guys? You know, just slap on the wrist, through authority, we won't do it again. You know shit, they're gonna deny allegations of unlawful surveillancing. The government denied allegations of unlawful surveillancing, hence the reason that Edward Snowden blew the goddamn whistle. Fucking what? Stating on X that its Foundry platform employs granular security protections. That's a fancy way of saying we're doing illegal shit, but making it sound like what we're doing is for your benefit, and we're only doing it little bits at a time, and that it processes data under client direction without controlling its use. The company also took a confrontational approach towards journalists, reportedly threatening to call police on a Wired reporter and removing others from a defense conference June 5th, 2025. Now, here's the one thing I will say in defense of Palantir. I would also be confrontational with a Wired reporter because Wired.com is not real journalism, much like everything else in the modern day media. It is just flat out propaganda. But that's not to say that what's going on here ain't either. Here as in the annals of what's going on in DC, not your boy. I'm trying to be as honest and transparent with you as I possibly can. Anarchy rules, chaos king, ya boy. Employee and public backlash. Former Palantir employees have criticized the company with an open letter accusing it of normalizing authoritarianism. Bro, we have been in the process of authoritarianism being normalized for my entire goddamn life, and probably before then as well. This ain't anything new. They're just getting a whole lot more brazen about it now. By supporting Trump's policies, public sentiment on X reflects unease, with posts calling Palantir a tool of the Trump regime and suggesting its contracts are a payoff for political allies like Peter Thiel, who's the one that founded this company, by the way, a Trump donor and Palantir co-founder. Okay, so they say it right here. And to round it out, the Palantir controversy has been partially eclipsed by the public spat between Trump and Musk, which has dominated headlines and social media. Nature of the feud, the conflict, and we know the nature of the feud. I mean, that's literally what we've been going over this entire time. So here's the final thoughts, the critical perspective from Grok itself. The Palantir controversy raises serious questions about privacy, government overreach, and the role of tech companies in enabling surveillance. And while Palantir insists it operates within legal bounds and by the way, just because something because something is legal does not mean that it's okay. Prioritizes client-directed data use. The lack of transparency and the scale of data aggregation have alarmed critics across the political spectrum. Again, you got people, American citizens, people not in the system, but who were under the boot of the system on the left and the right, and those of us like your boy who don't align with either of them, all calling this shit out. The company's ties to Peter Thiel and his growing influence under Trump amplify fears of unchecked power, especially as stock soars. Meanwhile, the Trump-Musk drama, while attention-grabbing, may be diverting scrutiny from these deeper issues, whether by design or coincidence. The contrast between the sensational feud and the technical yet chilling implications of Palantir's work explains why the latter struggles to maintain a public focus. Bingo, bango, bongo, there it is. Now, at this point, it's just a matter of is this intentional? Is the Donald Trump and Musk feud to cover up this story? Or is it just, again, like Brock said, a coincidence, but people are not going to be paying attention to this because the reality TV man and the real-life Tony Stark are throwing gobs of money and mean words at one another. At the end of the day, you look back at what Mrs. Flux said about how this could be 4D chess between Trump and Elon, and maybe so, but again, things are often too good to be true, usually are. If this is really 4D chess, it's not 4D chess for the benefit of us, the American people. It's for the benefit of Palantir, the shareholders, the American government, and those that want to maintain absolute power. Because power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that could be what we're seeing now with this crash out. So I guess at this point, I leave it to you guys. Is this real? Is it political theater? What do you think about the whole dying? These are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news nearly every day. Not usually this deep into the annals of politics, although I do love that shit. But normally I'm a nerdy news channel. Anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsparadise_Leon and become a member. For $4.99 a month, you can join the Discord. Choose the articles we go over on a day-to-day basis. Choose the videos we react to on the Friday night live streams. And of course, get involved with over 200 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further because we do care about diversity. Only one kind of diversity of thought. If that's interesting to you, join the Discord, hit subscribe, and until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.